today. From Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, it's Week 12 of the NFL on EA Sports. Sam Darnold and the Indianapolis Colts taking on Jimmy Garoppolo and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Just a short time ago, smoke from the pyrotechnics filled the dome as the Colts made their way out of the locker room. We're set for football as the Colts get set to match up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 24-year-old quarterback in his 4th season from USC, a former 3rd overall pick, Sam Darnold.
And the thing with Sam Darnold is we know the skill set is there. May not be the most mobile or strongest arm quarterback in the league, but usually plays with really good poise, and at his best, like a point guard in basketball, able to move around and distribute the rock.
Off of play action, Darnold. And he's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Bucs, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
Yeah, they held them completely out of the end zone, just held them to a field goal, so they're not just hoping for a repeat here. They're hoping to do it even better. A shutout is their goal.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Three and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Now Darnold swings this out for a punt, and he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. A gain of 4, not enough, and it looks like punt time on their opening drive as it's 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. First carry now for Ramondre Stevenson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
On 1st down, Garoppolo. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly, and forcing incompletions.
On second down, it's Stevenson. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down at the Colts' 43-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
First carry for Kenneth Gainwell. A nice opening right away as he'll maneuver his way up to the 32-yard line. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. They'll get this to the rookie from Florida. That's Kadarius Toney.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Gainwell. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all this stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Stevenson now on 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. The rushing numbers for Stevenson from last week. He was creeping up toward 200 yards, thought he was going to get there, didn't quite make it, but also 2 rushing touchdowns.
And even if he only got about half.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ramondre Stevenson. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bucs have taken a first-quarter lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. That time, a 9-play drive. And it was polished off by a Ramondre Stevenson touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. A first down throw, Darnold. And his throw here's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you had. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Darnold looking for Chark again. This time he's got him. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. So they give up the completion there. But defensively, Charles, you're going up against a quarterback here who's had some moments, but really a lot of ups and downs in the early part of his career. What's the plan against a guy like this?
Well, you want to rattle him first and foremost. Bring some people at him, a couple extra guys in the pocket, see if he can handle it. The second thing, you want to make him think. Show him one look, go to another, disguise a few things, make him throw into what you call your defensive traps, and try and make some good plays on the ball and get a few takeaways.
here's Brian Anger now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. This is brought in at the 21. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
2nd and 2. Now a handoff. Stevenson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 69 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the handoff, Gainwell. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. That's out quickly to Chenault. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 16.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play. And sometimes it can break big.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. On the handoff, Stevenson. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Stevenson. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ramondre Stevenson. His second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll make the score 14-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it was polished off by a Ramondre Stevenson touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. And Sharp calls it in. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
We know you've got the power. We know you've got the speed. Now how about that? Show us a little bit of that wiggle in there. How about that one, partner?
Can you imagine trying to tackle that? Yeah, I'll stay up here with you. They'll run it here with Hunt. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Faking the give, Darnold. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Solomon Thomas busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Well, you're already up a couple of scores here in the first half defensively, and Charles, they just seem to be playing really free on that side of the football.
I love the observation because with that type of a lead, they feel like they can take a few more chances and be even more aggressive, and it's been paying off for them so far this game.
The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on 3rd down. Here's Darnold. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Samuel Aguavin. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. Well, when you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance.
Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On 2nd and 7, Garoppolo. That'll be caught. It's Tony. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it. And here's a handoff to Gainwell. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play? On 2nd down now, it's Stevenson, and he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 102 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business. The coach.
Touchdown! O.J. Howard with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Indy set to go on offense once more. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here.
And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Solomon Thomas able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Darnold on 1st down. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. As they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From just shy of midfield, Darnold. It's caught by Sanders.
Partner, it took a while for him to walk onto a receiver, and he finally found his man coming left to right across the formation. But by the time he got the ball to him, not much of a chance to turn upfield and make anything out of it.
And he is going to have a Colts 1st down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. Now it's Darnold. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big connection on that one. 31 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, this from 33. The kick by McManus is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So they do get to 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points. And now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the 2nd half.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We've once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you around the NFL here in Week 12. We'll get started out in Texas, NRG Stadium in Houston. And it's the Texans who are out in front. Patrick Mahomes looking good. 2 touchdown passes. From there, let's get to the Meadowlands to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And they currently trail the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Tennessee Titans. Carson Wentz has thrown a touchdown pass. In the game you're watching, it was Jimmy Garoppolo who was brilliant in that first half. His guys have the lead at the break as we get back up to Lucas Oil Stadium and hand things over to Brandon Godden.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. Batson not going to risk returning it, so they'll start at the 25. So here are the Bucs to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run with Stevenson to begin the drive. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
6 yards left on 2nd down. Here's Gainwell. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They'll try and run for the first with Stevenson. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 125 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. To throw, it's Garoppolo. That's complete to Tony. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. They run once more with Stevenson. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a 1st down.
Throwing on 1st is Garoppolo, eluding the pressure right. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Man, that ain't make no sense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Here we go. 21, 2.
On 2nd down, Gainwell looking for space. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Here we go.
Stevenson. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ramondre Stevenson punching it in from a yard away. And the Bucs take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Elliott good with a PAT, and they open the lead up now to 25. A 10-play drive that time. And it was polished off by a Ramondre Stevenson touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up!
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. So the pitch and catch good for 11. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the 50, it's Darnold. To the right side, it's Kelsey.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On 1st down, it's Darnold. Another pass into the reliable hands of Kelsey. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That catch in his career is number 662, and that's significant because it ties him with Hall of Famer Ozzie Newsome.
Yeah, who was a wide receiver at Alabama before he transitioned in the NFL, and we're seeing similar attributes here because the ability to play inside, outside, flex out, he can catch it from any position and turn it into a big play.
Now he's got his eyes on 700. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. From the 27, Darnold. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Ja'Kai Polite just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Back to throw, Darnold. Under pressure, they got him again. Ja'Kai Polite picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. 4th down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, I guess an interception at this point on 4th down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over to the other side.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he could do there, and he winds up giving the ball away.
The drive starts with a carry by Stevenson. And some room to roam now. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 147 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point in the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And this is Gainwell. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Play action, Garoppolo. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. That is caught. It's Williams. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts 16. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now Gainwell able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And they're going to get it. They bring it down to a sack back at the 16-yard line. Credit that sack to Marcus Davenport.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
Here's Garoppolo to throw. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. And now the Tampa Bay field goal unit comes out here. This a 33-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. It's Kelsey on the ground. That catch good for only a couple. Eight yards to go on 2nd down. Darnold now to throw. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. On the slant, he's got Sanders. And he is going to have a Colts 1st down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. Again, Darnold. He'll get this one underneath to Hunt. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Darnold throwing the out route and complete. It's Hunt. They'll give him 4 yards there. And they're going to face a 3rd down. Darnold. They'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st and 10, Darnold. And not able to get it that time. He hit on 6 straight passes. Not there, 2nd down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Throwing again is Darnold. And this will be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Check 45 the mic. Check 45 the mic. Record.
On 4th down, Darnold. The open man is Shark. It's complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. DJ Chark, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And he puts this one through. He makes our score 31-10. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. So still lots of work left to do. But here comes the onside kick. And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, He's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. 4 yards remain for second down.
13.
Garoppolo looking to throw. And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. O.J. Howard, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Buccaneers are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it into the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Indianapolis offense ready to go again. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. On first down, Darnold. Looking for Godwin, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. They'll run on first down. Stevenson, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Well, they got the ball in great field position. 1 play later, boom, end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. Let's just be frank, they're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. To throw is Darnold. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And Darnold going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Carl Joseph. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Back, 12, 12. Hey, gun. 11. Go ahead.
Oh, Garoppolo's going to throw it. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Colts are going to have it here just past the 25. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Throwing again on 2nd down. Darnold. And he can't escape, and down he goes. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. Big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Bucs, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Colts, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead they fall to 5-7. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.